All right, so the new UFC 5 is about to be coming out soon, and there's a few things that I noticed from this trailer that I just had to talk about. So, give me a second here. I'm gonna go and fire this up. So, jumping into the first thing, man, I noticed something when they were, and this is for anybody who's actually seen the trailer already. I'm not gonna stop and go back through the entire 10-minute trailer. You got time to do that on your own. But I'm gonna jump in. I'm just gonna look at a few things that they were talking about. So, one of the things that they brought up earlier was essentially this. It's kind of like a chance. They had this in the old USC 4 too, but essentially it's a chance for you to play different types of challenges, and they will give you some points for it or whatever, some currency to be able to go buy some stuff. It wasn't this in depth where they had actual, hey, play this player versus this player. It was more like, hey, go in there and get, I don't know, 50 takedowns in online mode or something like that. So that's how they used to play it, but now they've added this system. And it's interesting because I noticed something. I was looking down at the Prayer versus Costa fight. It looks like you get points just for attempting the match. Because if you look to the left, you actually see that he took a L on this one. He took a L, but the rewards earned was still 200. So I guess you get 200 points regardless, just for trying in this mode, and then you get an extra 400 points on top just for actually getting the dub. So that's something I noticed, and that's actually kind of a cool takeaway because whether you're good at the game or not, it looks like you can jump in and still have a chance to get some of these actual points from this mode. All right, hold up. Let me fire this up. Okay, all right. Second thing I noticed, it looks like they now added a cap. Let me back up a little bit. So they're talking about making your online career mode essentially what it wasn't back in the old one, which was you would make a fighter. And then essentially, even though you got all your stats in your own career mode, they would essentially give you like a generic version of your character that was online mode safe. Now that that's gone, I noticed something here. Like, so each character has an evolution point cap. Why that looks like that's important is because if I'm capped off at 1,000, that means that I can't have a build that is all 99s across the board, or really in this game, all 5 stars across the board. So I can't be 5-star, all standing, all grappling, and all health. Like, that would just be ridiculous based on this system. So I kind of like that because it creates some balancing. We're going to see what it looks like once it comes through, but they didn't really talk to this, and this is a very interesting thing because if I hit a cap, and I'm thinking of like Madden terms, 2K terms, something like that. Like if the cap I can hit is a 95, then I have to be diligent about the way I split my stats, and in that way too, it doesn't make online characters just OP. You know what I mean? So that's the interesting thing. I'm curious how they're actually going to tie that to the prestige, because he did mention that as you prestige, you'll get access to more and more things with your online character. So if jumping out of the gate you start off 1,000, if it stays at that, then that means even the most awesome of players can still be in the game, and those who haven't grind that long, like your boy, you know what I'm saying, who's a corporate gamer, like it'll put me on the same level as them as long as I'm able to make it to the career mode at least probably once. That's dope. Now, let me jump a little ahead here. Here's something else I saw that also had me like just thinking some things. Let's pull this up. Let's pull this up. This right here, man. This right here tripped me out. All right, so if you look right here where kick power is, there's a requirement now for you be able to go to a particular star level. That wasn't there back in the old one. As long as you had the evolution points, boom, you can upgrade as far as you could go. It looks like now these guys right here are actually tied to perks. So as you can see, crazy legs, right? At first I was thinking, oh, that's probably some type of move or something, like, so I guess once you unlock a particular move, then that'll get you in the right, space to be able to get your kick power up there. Nah, actually it's tied to a perk. And let's see, I'm gonna jump forward a little bit. I'm right about there. So crazy legs, right? As you can see right here, crazy legs is actually one of Volkanovski's like perks, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a perk in the game. So if they're actually gonna lock some of the attributes behind perk systems, I don't know what it's gonna be, but it sounds like it's gonna be interesting, man. Because I mean, your build that you making has got to be a little bit more specific. You can't just be all crazy willy-nilly and mix and matching things that don't really match. You kind of have to sacrifice a little bit in order to get something. So if I only got 5%, I got to sacrifice something else to get crazy legs, just so I can be able to have my kick power be high. Like that's legit, man. I think that's going to be interesting. So this is new, and this was not something that they brought up or that was even in like the old UFC back in the day. So yeah, right there. Look at that. And so who knows what kind of person you're going to have throughout there, but they didn't talk about that, and I think that's crazy interesting. Something else too that came up. All right here. So this actually left me with more of a question than it actually did. What is this? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what this was, but it left me with some questions. So there's two things I noticed in this move right here. Boom. One, guard break. That's new. Moves back in the day didn't have guard break like that. So it's actually kind of good because it did. I didn't think about it before, but like thinking back to old UFC 4, there was times where you're hitting somebody, as you said, like a powerful leg shot versus a jab, and you're basically doing about the same amount of damage to somebody's block. You know, with this, it's kind of interesting because if you have a move that actually shuts down your guard, it gives you more incentive to use the dodge moves, or at least, be more cognizant of distance and whatnot. So that was interesting that they didn't even talk about that. Some of these moves are actually going to have perks tied to them. And so right there says, let's see, in order to reach level 2, it's starting out at 0 out of 16 experience points in order to get there. So in the old one, and from some of the stuff that they showed in here, it looks like, you're going to have to use your strikes in order to actually upgrade, which is kind of like how they did back in the old one. But I'm trying to see if I can find where it was at. But yeah, right here. So yeah, you're definitely going to have to use strikes. I'm going to bring that back again. You're definitely going to have to use strikes in order to upgrade from the way it looks like, which is cool because that's the way it was in UFC 4. It gave you that feeling of like, the more times I throw this blow, the better I am at it. Now, the thing I question is, does this 0 out of 16, back it up, does that 0 out of 16 mean I have to throw it and connect with it 16 times? Or is there experience points that I'm earning per hit? You know what I mean? And now, if they're telling you this is how many times you have to connect, I actually like that better because the experience point system was kind of vague in the last one. I mean, I punch you in the face, am I earning 200 XP or 100 XP? You have no idea. So if they're doing this by the number of throws, that could be really dope and kind of interesting. So keep an eye on that. And then one last thing I noticed from the video that they put out is this right here. All right, man. So check this out. The last thing I noticed, I thought I had a little bit of an interest. You know what I mean? Just trying to keep it top 5. I might come back for some more later, but I think that this was like something worth noting. In UFC 4, you learned your moves generally by working with a trainer. So as you progress through your career mode, you would meet different trainers, you know what I'm saying? And then you would wine and dine them, get to know them, and then they'll teach you their moves. In here, it looks like you just purchase it. I mean, you can just come in and then just purchase a choke. You can purchase a guillotine possibly. Like, if that's the case, then that essentially takes out the whole trainer system. Well, it makes me curious, what are they going to do with the trainer system now in this UFC? Do you train first, acquire the move, pay for the move, and then you're able to use the move? Or are they just eliminated trainers altogether? And I bring that up because trainers were one of the funnest and greatest ways to work on your moves inside of career mode in UFC 4. And I say that because when you're doing regular trainings, it's 2 minutes. You know what I mean? 2-minute drills, you come in, you do certain things, and you get in and out. These sessions were 5-minute sessions, and you can literally just say, I'm gonna go onto the ground, and I'm just gonna work on pound and ground. I'm gonna work on ground and pound for the next 5 minutes. And it was a 5-minute session of just letting you get reps in. It was like the fastest way to level up in UFC 4. It was a grinding cheat. So if they've gotten rid of trainers and possibly gotten rid of that mode, man, that seriously curves how much XP you can get off of throwing your blows. So I'm gonna say keep an eye on that. These are the things I noticed so far. I'm probably gonna look at this video again and see if there's anything else I noticed, and I'll make another one. But in the meantime, thank you guys for listening. I'll catch you later.